Hello and welcome back to another long-awaited 𝗺𝗂𝗶𝗃 vlog. It's been a while since I prepared a video that kind of followed along my 𝗺𝗂𝗶𝗃 journey, mainly just because of how busy I've been. As the video title suggests, this follows along my market prep and journey for Mellow Art Market in Melbourne, which happened back in September, I believe. So this vlog is truly long overdue, but I hope that you still want to listen along. So I had like a massive box of restocks that came in just in time for Mellow Market, and these restocks were a must after how amazing Smash and Sydney Mellow Market was back in July. And for reference, I'm pretty sure I only had like one event in August, so I literally had like nothing, and it was a perfect time for me to restock. And I had like super high expectations for Melbourne Mellow because of how good the Sydney event was. So I really tried to have as much stock as possible for Melbourne Mellow. I did also bring in a new product, which are these acrylic phone charms. I've got like a huge range of designs, although I do admit that the designs aren't necessarily new. I've kind of just recycled some designs that were initially created for acrylic pins and stickers, but you know, it doesn't hurt to reuse some designs because different people like to collect different kinds of items, and being able to provide these different options is really good, like for both you as the artist and for your customers. I did also end up making some cute Sanrio inspired items as well. The original idea for the Sanrio was more of a Sanrio and drinks concept, but I thought it was a bit overdone, so I decided to do desserts. And for me, I love 𝗶𝗀𝗃, and at the time it was super fresh in my mind because I did hang out with some friends and had 𝗶𝗀𝗃, so it was kind of like a perfect fit. And yeah, that was pretty much the reason why I made these. But I do also know that there are a lot of copyright things with Sanrio, so these aren't going to be like a main product or a highlighted product or anything. Like, I'm only going to do these for fun, and when it's done, it's done. I'll probably like discontinue them like soon after. I also had my desk mats come in for those who pre-ordered them back at Smash and Sydney Mellow, and just like online as well, which is good because those took so long to make for some reason. But yeah, I also love that it came in time for Mellow as well, and I really had these made for like future markets too. And like now at the end of the year, I'm pretty much sold out on all my desk mats, which is super crazy. So I'm really hoping to make more designs soon since they were such a hit. Shortly after all the prepping, I hopped onto a plane to fly down to Melbourne. I flew down the Thursday night, which is 2 days before the actual event, but it was just mainly so I could spend an extra day or two to walk around Melbourne CBD. There were a lot of places that I really wanted to visit, so for me it was pretty worth it to just come down earlier and spend a bit of extra time to just walk around and have fun. Given that I don't actually do this for all my events, like my most recent Melbourne event, which was the Melbourne 𝘀𝗀𝗃 Xmas, that one I only was there for like the weekend. Like I flew on Friday morning, I think, and then flew back out Sunday night, so that was like in and out. But yeah, but for Mellow, I did enjoy just walking around the city. I went to like a bunch of food places that I saw on like TikTok, obviously. And I also went to do like photo booths because they have a Hammer film in Melbourne. And I also went down to a bunch of blind box stores because I have an unfortunate gacha addiction. I don't know, I feel like I low-key regret getting the Sanrio ones, like the Sanrio blind boxes, because like now I collect other series, but it was just for fun, so you know, whatever. But yeah, everything was just for fun. Melbourne's fun. Melbourne is very, very different from Sydney, so I really like the vibes there, and that's why I like hanging around. But it's only fun if I go with like friends and all that. And for my recent Melbourne trip, I didn't really have anyone to go with. I was just by myself, so yeah. The Saturday morning of the event, we had to come in pretty early to set up, since Mellow isn't like a typical convention where you'll have the Friday, like the day before, to set up. So yeah, our only choice was in the morning. Low-key, we did come in a lot later than I originally planned, since I was hoping to get there like around 7:30 in the morning, but we came in like an hour later, so like around 8:30ish, and I'm pretty sure the market starts at like 10. So I know for me, I felt a bit panicked because it usually takes me quite a while to set up, like around at least 2 hours, you know, and then like a little bit after that if I want to make it look really nice. But it's okay. We did make a few mistakes when setting up just because we were a bit tired and a little bit out of it because, you know, mornings, but it all worked out in the end. Much of my setup process is pretty much the same as some of my short form videos and vlogs that you'll see floating around on my TikTok, Instagram Reels, and YouTube Shorts. I know a lot of people love watching those, so I did want to try incorporate kind of like a setup, like filmed setup scene for my YouTube video. I don't know if this is something that people like watching in like my vlogs here, but you know, I hope you guys still enjoy watching it. I feel like it does give a lot of insight to how to set up, like the process of it and how long it really takes, because like a lot of the time in my videos you only see like snippets and it's just mainly to please like the algorithm, but here you can kind of see that it does take quite a while, even though that I know I put this a little bit sped up. But yeah, I know that for some of the shots I didn't actually bring my actual tripod, so they were all kind of in weird angles, like the higher shots especially, because I don't know, my tripod that I brought, it was one of my older ones which doesn't go as high, so I had to improvise and had to kind of lean the tripod back a bit, and that's why the angles are a bit questionable. At least for me, I feel like they look questionable, but I don't know if people will notice. But you know, now you know. I unfortunately didn't get around to filming anything past the setup either, only because as soon as the event started, the event got busy really quickly. Like I remember, like after I finished setting up, I just walked out to go to the bathroom real quick, and there was like a really long line. And like anytime I just went out during the day, there was just a really long line, and that's crazy. Like honestly, that's amazing, but also crazy, if you know what I mean. Yeah, I hope that everyone really enjoyed Mellow Market, because I know I enjoyed Mellow Market, which is why I felt so preoccupied and kind of just forgot to film a lot of my other things. But to be fair, I was just at my table for the most part. Like I did walk around, usually just like when it was quieter, so like towards the end of the day and Sunday morning, I walked around and talked to a bunch of the artists, which was cool. I also got a bunch of cool merch. And you know, that's one of the best things about being in this kind of artist alley scene, which is like one of the reasons why I decided to start doing this kind of gig. But yeah, Mellow has been one of my best events over the past year, which is crazy because I've done so many events this year, like over 20, like over 25 I think, and this event is an event that 100% fits my demographic. Like everything I make, it's very much more on the cutesy end, the kawaii kind of aesthetic, the stationery kind of vibe, right? And this Mellow Market is that for that kind of audience basically. And the market is honestly such a warm market as well. Like I've met so many amazing artists just at these markets, and I made so many new friends and new connections, and interacting with people is one of my favorite things to do, especially at events like these, because you end up meeting a lot of like-minded people, which is something that you want in life, you know, like you want to create a network and be able to branch out to all these different kinds of people, kind of meet all these people who probably take similar inspirations from you or can take completely different ones. You can kind of learn from them and be inspired by them. And this just makes me hope that I'll get into Mellow Market again next year, so like for 2024 and for the future ones as well, because it's been one of my best events, one of my favorite events ever. And the organizers as well, they're amazing people, they're very lovely to talk to as well. But yeah, sorry, I think I went on a bit of a ramble there, but I think you guys know what I mean by all these kinds of good vibes from this kind of artist alley gig. And I know so many new and upcoming artists, including myself, who's just starting to get into this kind of scene. So it's really exciting, and I'm excited to see some more people join this kind of scene as well. Like I know it'll get a bit competitive, I guess, within like just getting into markets and conventions, but in the end, like whatever's authentic, you know, people will kind of float to authenticity and to works that they like, and everyone caters to their own kind of audience. I know for 2024, I've got a lot of goals, not just for getting into different kinds of markets. Like I definitely do. I've got a lot of big events planned for next year, at least for conventions and markets in Australia. And, you know, I just gotta hope that I actually get in. But I've also got plans for international events. So for my international peeps out there, look out. I know I'm going to New Zealand next year, which is a definite yes already, since that's already been booked in. So pretty exciting. I've also got a lot of new products in mind that I want to expand into for my shop. And I also just want to get into content creation much more consistently, at least for YouTube, since I know I'm pretty consistent with Instagram at least. And yeah, a lot of big goals for 2024, a lot of branches I do want to reach into, so definitely look out for some more vlogs, and definitely tune in to my Instagram, especially if you guys want to know more about this kind of artist alley vibes. Thank you so much, and I guess I'll see you again soon, guys. Bye bye.